Hey, Industrial Sage Nation. This is for all you salespeople out there who have some three particular challenges that we see all the time. Are you trying to figure out better ways of generating or prospecting leads, or maybe reduce sales cycle, or maybe even having a strategy around getting back in front of that person who's gone dark on you? Well, you don't want to miss this episode, because today we're going to talk about how to use marketing videos and blog articles to your advantage to answer those three questions.
Welcome to Industrial Sage, a free video podcast series all about digital marketing for industrial manufacturers. Hear interviews with your peers and find out how they're solving the same challenges that you might be facing in your own field. Coming to you from the Optimum Production Studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is Industrial Sage.
All right, sales, one of my favorite topics. I love this, and I love generating leads. I love prospecting. I love reducing the sales cycle. I'm not a huge fan of when prospects go dark. That never happens, right? I'm sure you've never experienced that. But what we have found, and what we've seen time and time again, we help our clients do this, we do this internally, is really using marketing, blogs, and video content to your advantage, and having that readily accessible to help answer those three problems. So what we're seeing is, when you look at blogs in particular, okay, if you guys don't have a blog strategy, you need to have it. We did an episode on this. Listen to it, previously. We'll put a link. But blogs, what they're doing, long story short, is they're helping to answer your prospects, your leads, their challenges. What are those challenges they have? A good blog strategy will start off with having, what are those frequently asked questions that you have? So for example, you're on the sales process, and what are those top 5 or 10 questions that you constantly get asked? You need to have a piece of content that's a video or a blog article at your disposal, so you can fire that off, so you're not having to be that parrot, like, hey, I'm saying this over and over and over again. Obviously, in an ideal world, if you've got that out there, people are able to search it and find it, and it's going to help kind of move things along. So having an arsenal of content so that you can properly follow up on stuff that is relevant and it's timely is going to really help you to do that. And again, videos are key. Blog articles are key. It can be the same, it could be different. And that's an awesome strategy that we use. And all of three of those challenges that we talked about, that if you're trying to prospect, you're trying to reduce the sales cycle, or you're trying to continue to stay in front of somebody who's gone silent or gone dark on you. It's all around sharing that information and answering those problems. So one of the things that we'll do, let's say on a prospecting piece, we've got maybe, here's our insights report, or here's a blog article, and we did this the other day with actually one of the episodes that we had recently with Lowe's and Kobalt Tools. We've got a client that we're talking to that they're really interested in kind of doing their own series, and we're talking about why they need to do this. Actually, if you haven't watched that episode, for context, you can, there's a link, you can watch it. It was with Kobalt Tools, with Lowe's, and their story on why they're doing branding videos on their customers. And so that's a big strategy. And so anyways, so we use that piece of content, we use that video, we use that blog article to send it to some prospects that we're talking to about some of the same stuff, and said, hey, look, these is what these guys are doing. This is what you guys should be considering. It's relevant. I know we just talked about this a week ago, and I wanted to share this to show you what these guys are doing. Super relevant information. That's really helpful. That is where you guys need to be thinking, making sure that there's an arsenal of content that you're constantly able to follow up with and do that. Whether that's your content or somebody else's. It could be somebody else's, in general. That's one of the great things. And as a salesperson, that follow-ups are key. So whether it's prospecting or even honestly in all three of those areas, prospecting, reducing that sales cycle, and getting somebody who's gone dark to come back alive, constantly having content and feeding things that are relevant to them is really the key. Prospecting it's a great way of, hey, I have no relationship with them, and let's say on LinkedIn you're looking for somebody and you say, hey, I saw that you guys are doing this. I just found this article. I wanted to share it with you. Thought it was valuable. And then you put a little line like, hey, by the way, we help companies to optimize their operational efficiency. If you have any questions, be happy to chat with you. Or here's a here's a blog article that we did on a case study on how such and such company saved $10 million on efficiency costs by these solutions that we put in, and how they did it, that kind of thing. again, really relevant information. And if you constantly have that in your back pocket and you're solving these guys' challenges, you're going to put yourself as that authority figure. It may take some time, but that's going to help. So in a prospecting situation, that's how you can use those videos and blog articles. Just constantly send that out there. Reducing the sales cycle, sort of the same thing. If you can map out a blog strategy that says, okay, here are 20 blog articles that we can match them to the buying cycle that speak to the different areas that you're in there, it's perfect as a salesperson. Now you can just load that up and just say, hey, look, this is what I'm going to send you once a week or once every other week or what have you. And it's already loaded, and I know that's great, relevant content that I can constantly fire it off to my prospect, my lead, depending on where they are in that buying cycle. And it's keeping us on top of mind, and it's helping them to continue to educate them. Say, okay, yeah, we need to do this because of this, or this is what these other guys are doing. Yeah, we really need to do that because that's very difficult. And what you'll see is the faster that you can educate somebody, the faster you can get them to say, oh, realize, shoot, this is really something we need to entertain. Then we can start moving into those more meaningful conversations. And obviously, look, depending on what your sales cycle is and how involved, if you're selling a product and it's very easy to ship and they can implement it themselves, that's one thing versus a whole solution. I was talking with a company the other day, where they've got, and it's an industrial automation solution. Okay, that's going to take some time. There's some serious things going on there, but even reducing that time from hey, we think we need to implement a solution to, yeah, we're talking about how to do it, shortening that, and then once we're getting into the meat and the potatoes and the planning and the strategy and how to do it, and and going into the technical sales and all that stuff, that can really help to reduce that. And then the other piece is, again, when you've got a contact or a lead that or a prospect rather that has completely gone dark, is if you've got content that you can continually follow up with, it's perfect, because it's better than, hey, I'm just checking in to see where you are on this. No, because that gets ignored. Continuously provide value. Provide value. You can do that through these blog articles and these videos. I can't tell you how many times we've had that happen where somebody's gone dark because it's not. They're super busy, or they don't have the right time, or what have you. But we have content and it's valuable, and it just shows that we're on top of it and we're helping them. And when they're ready to go, they'll come back. Or we've had things where they're like, oh man, we just saw that video on this. This was awesome, and we didn't know that was possible. Hey, let's talk. So use that to your advantage to continuously to be able to do that. So that really is how you can use, in a nutshell, how you can use videos and blog articles to really answer those three key challenges to help to prospect better, generate leads with it, to be able to reduce your sales cycle, and to help to re-engage with those leads that have gone dark. So that's all I got for you today. If you have any other questions on anything, sales and marketing for the industrial and manufacturing space, reach out. We'd love to answer them. You can submit a question at industrialsage.com/questions. If you're listening on iTunes, we'd love a review. If you're on social media, we'd love for you to engage, share this with us. And if you have not subscribed to our email list, I highly encourage you to do so. We send out these videos every single week direct to your email box. You'll get it. If you're on Eastern time, super early Monday morning, so on your commute, you can watch or you can listen to it on iTunes, and stay on top of your game, whether you're just getting into digital marketing and figuring all this out, or you've been a long-time player in it. You know that things are constantly changing, and we're here to continuously provide information and value around that. So join the list. That's the end of my commercial. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you next time. One of the most important elements of developing a digital marketing strategy is figuring out your buyer personas. We have a downloadable for you that is a quick walkthrough on how to fill that out. Long story short, your buyer personas are the people who are going to be buying your product, your prospects. They could be influencers or decision makers. And figuring that out is very, very critical to figuring out what your content strategy is and how you're going to deploy that and how you're going to distribute your content. So download this. It's just a quick few slides, and you can we have some questions, and you can fill out who those target personas are, and then you can take that and help to develop your content strategy. And this actually goes into the digital marketing content planner. This can kind of feed into that. So go ahead and download it, and if you have any questions, reach out. We'd love to help you.